I thought it was going to work again, but nope, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm wishing,
All right.
but I've got my answer. So I say no for question number 1. Wait it out, just like Dylan.
Yep, I say the same.
That's what I said.
Why?
They got enough money to go 8 months without taking the funds.
Yeah, I saw that too. But is that always like, when I was reading that, my question was, is it always necessarily a bad thing to take funding when you don't need it?
Well, with this one, it's the money takes wall to roll in because it's a monthly type deal.
Right.
And your upfront cost is so much. I mean, they're putting out $2,300 on every customer they get.
Right.
Yeah, they're only averaging $440 a customer per month, and they're only retaining their customers for an average of 2.63 years.
Right.
So it takes several months before you make up that $2,300 back.
Right.
So if you wait a few more months, then you start looking at a more positive cash flow. Your evaluation will look better, and yeehaw. I didn't figure that. That would be a good thing to figure.
What, the free cash flows?
Well, they're only getting a gross profit margin of 75%. So 440 times 75%. Where's my times? They are actually making $330 a month. And if we divide 2,300 by 330, it takes how many months? Almost 7 months to get to break even. So if they got enough to go 8 months, then all these people that they currently have, they'll be past the break even point on those customers. Their cash flow should look better. Their valuation should be higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What were you going to say, Ethan?
Oh, I was going to say that the reason that I had for why I thought they should wait on getting the financing was that they're already behind on getting their new product out to market, and they're being beaten by their competitor right now because their competitor is already catering to the landlords. And so it mentioned in the case that if they did do financing right now, it was going to take a lot of attention to do that. And so I thought it was better that they just focused on getting their product out right now, and then
kind of like one option or the other is kind of way they were looking.
Yeah.
Focus on either doing the real time. That's how I took it too.
Yeah.
Focus on the real time or focus on getting financing. Even though you got somebody saying, "Hey, we got $5 million. We want to give it to you."
Right.
Yeah, I had that down too.
Stop it.
And then the other thing I had was they don't have any plans for the money right now.
Right, because they had all their capital like already allocated, right?
Well, yeah, they had all figured out that they got 8 months of working capital still before they would need any kind of funding money. So, and their sales are improving because, you know, their break even's coming back up with all these new customers. So, anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, you know, there that last page where they were talking about sometimes, what did it say? Oh, I love this one. I highlighted this. Raising too much too soon has killed a lot of companies. It's easy to start spending, but it's really hard to stop.
Yeah.
I think that's so true. That's why so many of these professionals go bankrupt, because they're making all that money, and then when their career is over, they're used to spending that kind of money, and when it dries up, they're still spending, but because they haven't been able to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to go on to?
Trisha's trying to join, so if you wait like 2 minutes or just a second, she says she was having a hard time joining. So
Hey, we can wait. I'm a happy
Yeah.
camper.
I don't know. She just said she was having. I don't know. We can keep talking. We don't have to like stop talking. I'm gonna.
So how long did it take you to figure out the CLV?
How long did it take?
Yeah, to figure it out.
I'm kind of confused on it, to tell you the truth.
It took me a while. I had to Google and all kinds of stuff, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah. First of all, I
this is
knew it.
relatively easy.
So.
Oh,
You understand what it is, Rex?
yeah, I understand
Can you
how.
give us like a rundown exactly of what that even means?
Okay, so you're looking at your customer lifetime value. So how much is that customer going to make you over the lifetime that they're with you? And in order to get that, you have to figure out what that is, and then you got to minus. I'm assuming you have to minus the CAC, customer acquisition cost, on the simple formula I found. And then this thing, they give you all the numbers, but they throw the little monkey wrench in there by doing the monthly revenue instead of annual, because everything else is annual.
Oh yeah.
So once you figure out the monkey wrench, you got to times that times 12, then it becomes really simple.
So what's the formula for that?
So it's steps. I did it in steps because it's just so much easier for me to do it in steps. And there's different ways you could do it. So you would take your $440 times 12 times 75%. And that means that you are going to make in a year, every year you have that person, a gross profit margin of, or a gross margin of $3,960.
And
Now,
that's per year that you have that customer.
Correct.
Right?
And then you got an annual churn rate. So if you divided that $3,960 by 38%, then you, or 0.38, then you would get, the $10,421.05. So the annual turn rate, it's easy to think of. All you'd have to do is you just figure how long are they going to be with you. So if you divide 100, which would be if they were with you 100% forever, by 38, you would get 2.63 years, 6315 or something like that. So it keeps on going. So roughly every customer, their average customer length of having a customer is 2.63 years or 2.6 years. You do 2.6, it rounds it up a lot nicer.
Yeah.
It rounds it to almost $10,300. And then when you take away the CAC, it means that you are netting $8,000 on every customer. That's pretty good money.
That is pretty good.
So that's why your investors are coming to you saying, "Hey, we like that return on the money."
Yeah, let us give you money. We like that.
For every $2,300 you're spending, you're getting back $10,300 for it. So anyway.
Yeah.
So but my question is your true CLV the $8,000 or is it the $10,300? Because on the simple one that I found online, it says that you need to, it's a simple CLV formula. It says that you got your profit minus your acquisition equals your CLV. So if your acquisition, which would be your CAC, right?
Right.
Acquisition cost. So you would minus that in order to get your true CLV.
Right.
$8,000 on your CL. And that happens to be one of the answers they might have in our little quizzy thing that we do, our pre-quiz or whatever.
Yeah, if I just went on the quiz, what they would have, and they have 3960 5,400, the 8,000, and the 300.
10,300. So I'm thinking it's going to be the 8,000 because you have to take that 2,300 off
Right, right.
in order to push it
Really?
down. I mean, they have all the numbers there except for I don't know where they came up with 5,400. I haven't figured that one out. But you have the years, which would be 3,960. So they got that far. You have your 10,300. So you got that far. Did you take off the $2,300? Because otherwise, why is it on the sheet if we're not going to use it?
Right. Well, and that, didn't you
So
say
throw
that the
us off.
formula, didn't you say the formula for that was profit minus the acquisition?
Yeah. So the simple one I looked up, it does say it, you have to minus the acquisition cost.
Right.
So, which would be the 2,300 and push it down to $8,000.
Yeah.
I like 8,000 on that one.
Yeah,
But we
right.
got way out there. We were back up at the top though. That was fun. It took me a while. It's like, and then I had the 10,421.05 and I was like, I bet they probably just went that 2.6 years. And when I did that, that pushed it to almost, 10,300. 10,296 is what it actually comes at. Which I can round up $4 to $10,300. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, it wasn't too terribly hard once you figure it out. So you got 440 times 12 times 0.75. And then you could actually divide on top by 3.38. But if you just times it by 2.6 years, then you're going to get the 10,200.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be a little bit more acceptable number.
We are a lively bunch.
When I do my
today.
spreadsheet, it's going to have the 1041.20.05. I'm just trying to figure out how to make my table. I'll probably just use the numbers they got here and just put it on there and spreadsheet it out.
Mhm.
My calculations. Okay, so read page 7. I tried to raise funds, conversion funnel. Do we want to go back to that?
Talking about the funnel.
Yeah, because that's what we're supposed to talk a little bit about, the conversion funnel.
Yeah.
So
So
on my printout that I did, I made a funnel with the little bullet points.
Yeah.
So I made it look like a funnel, actually. So the 100 was real wide, and when you get down to 2, it's real narrow.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
visual.
Yeah,
That's
those are really tough odds. I don't know that I could sell with those kind of odds.
Well, I wished I could get those kind of odds when I was on my mission. More like 10,000 and ended up at 2. If
Yeah.
that.
No, I was just reading. I actually read that part, and I thought it was interesting how what odds are that? Like 98% you're not going to get somebody. You get
98.
you get 2% customer acquisition. I mean, you get 2% of all.
Yeah, you get a 2%. That's a 2% acquisition.
Yeah, acquisition. That is not very much.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's like disheartening almost. Like, oh, I'm going to make 100 calls, but only 2 of those people are going to actually sign.
But those 2 are going to make you some bank.
That's true.
Well, 45 took the call,
I wonder. So the part of the question is how can you improve it? I wonder how maybe it's how their sales protocol was. Like, what was their? Did it say in here?
Well,
Yeah.
when you're on a mission, you find out what's best rather than knocking on doors with referrals. I would assume in this case, referrals would be really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting referrals from people that's using your product, like your product, and is paying for your product over the next 2.6 years.
Right.
So if you can find people that they can refer you to, that you're going to have a lot better odds.
Yeah, word
So
of mouth is always the best marketing.
I put referrals better than cold calls.
Yeah.
More advertising would help.
Can you answer me?
What was that?
Kind of. You're breaking up.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, because I'm on my phone right now. It keeps cutting out. If I leave, it's not leave you guys.
I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him or no?
I think his Wi-Fi, his bricks are
Yeah, I kept freezing
Wi-Fi.
up.
Yeah, I can't hear him very well either.
Ethan, are you in a closet?
Okay.
No, I'm at my grandma's house
Okay.
in the dark.
It's so dark.
I'm like really tired and I don't feel like turning the lights on.
Your grandma's house in Park City or Jerome?
My grandma's house is in Burley.
Oh, Burley, that's right. Not Jerome. I haven't bite my tongue saying Jerome when you're in Burley.
I wish it was Park City. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's
At least
just
they got some snow recently.
Did they?
Salt Lake did.
Nice.
Salt Lake did?
we got snow last week.
What?
I've been skiing, I think, 8 days so far this season.
Already?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
We're
crazy.
supposed to hit 90 on Thanksgiving.
I know. I saw that. I'm like, this is
We might
crazy.
get up to 50, you know? Who knows?
Shoot.
I think get up to like 45, 40.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I'm
that's
hoping
so
for
warm.
50 for turkey bowling.
Jordan, I think we need to send each of them 10 degrees.
Yes, seriously, take some. It's so hot.
We have the
What the
little
heck?
Thanksgiving football games here where they play like flag football and stuff.
Oh, fun.
Call it the turkey bowl.
Yeah.
And those are better when you can do like 50-degree weather than 40.
Yeah.
But it's been raining. It was raining when I came in here.
Hmm.
And inkjet, it bleeds really bad. Anyway. Okay, so I got my funnel 145, 21, 9, and 2.
Yeah.
So we got 100 contacts. 45 took the call. 21, you had agreed to speak to somebody that could do something. 9 actually seen the web demo. Woo, and 2 subscribed.
Okay, so the ways I'm thinking that a lot of the drop off there is where the web demo. Maybe they need to improve that more to catch more audience. Because if only 2 of them are signing up after watching the video, there's got to be something that's not working right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be true.
That could be a help. I also had keep the sales team motivated. And I'm not sure how you do that the best. Continue to develop the sales pitch. And that
Yeah.
could be in the lines with the other. Now the price, I'm not sure about the pricing still. They're still tinkering with that, kind of the way I took it.
Mm-hmm.
They've went to a new structure, and I think they might be happy with it, but you know, And the originals, they were grandfathered in, it sounded like. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So when we get down to question 6, this is when I start bouncing around. And I'm not sure what we're asking for here. But the options and stuff like that, I don't know.
How we should respond to the new. Well, I think that the first thing that he should do is get his competitive product out. That's for sure. Other than that, don't know.
I put they should focus on themselves and work on the real time.
The new competition is the company that's coming out that's targeting landlords, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was kind of kicking himself for not starting that real time soon enough.
Yeah.
But what I've learned best in business is focus on things you can control.
Right. If you try to bring up
competition's doing, but you can control what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if they focus on themselves, develop their real time, which they kind of wanted to do, and that's another reason why you really don't want to take the money right now, is so you can dedicate a little bit more time to that. They already have a customer base built with their other. And a name recognition built. So if they just focus on themselves, make the best product they can make, you shouldn't have to worry about your competition.
And maybe they could get referrals from the from brokerage companies and whoever else they're already working with.
Correct. I mean, it's kind of like a little tight knit industry.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And the other thing they don't really need to worry about is these guys are only in Boston, where they're spreading to more markets now. I mean, they've done the Boston thing. Now they're branching out. What was the different markets? I had it here somewhere. Florida was one. I remember that. He's from Florida. Was it LA?
And their competitors only in Boston?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it said.
So, I mean, I think best way to take care of competition is take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about kind of the pros of that. What are the cons? What's the con side of just focusing on yourself? Is there any? I mean, I'm assuming while you're focusing on you, you're also actively aware of what your competition is doing. Do you try and mimic their movements?
Well, the cons is sometimes you won't focus on your competition, know where they're coming from until it's too late. Kind of like him saying, well, I wished I would have started developing that, months ago or whatever. I mean, it was kind of too late by then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once the competition comes out. So that is a con. When you're totally kind of, your peripheral doesn't see the other guy sneaking up on you.
Isn't that where market research comes into play? So maybe they need to develop a better market research team.
Well, there's only 11 working right now.
Yeah, right.
And the other thing I thought was kind of interesting was they were flying out from Silicon Valley to Boston when they first started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was weird.
His the parents' basement, his partner's basement, parents' basement. And for a few days, and then they'd fly back.
Did it say why they started in Boston?
Because he had his connections there. They both went to Harvard School of Business. And Harvard, the one thing I will say about Harvard is connections are huge with those
Yeah,
guys.
networking.
They're networking, yes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of why they started there, because he had all the connections. He'd talk to realtors and stuff like that, and brokers and stuff when he was working on this there. Then he figured, well, I need to get out in California where the money is so I can get financing. But he'd done all his research in Boston, so that's the way I took why he started in Boston.
So they moved out to Silicon Valley to get money, but their home base was in Boston. That's like doesn't make sense. That's
Well, they
not
learned he went to Harvard and he spent all that time.
right. But why didn't they just set up shop in Boston? Like why? I mean, I get that they needed funding, but you can get funding without living in Silicon Valley.
Well, the other thing about Silicon Valley was he figured he could find the technology people there too,
Oh, right, right.
because he was kind of doing he was
He was
learning
doing
it.
it all, right.
Yeah, he's doing it himself, where he's, hey, I'm going to learn to program. Let's see how many hours that's going to take me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it said he spent hundreds of hours to make a crude program. Was he using Python, I think, if I remember right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of hours to make, something that he couldn't scale, but it would work and kind of he could show.
Mhm.
And then when he showed it to him, then he got stuff. And another thing I thought was interesting, where there for a while they were focusing on when somebody said, oh, well, I'd like this. Oh, well, let's do that. And let's start designing around suggestions. Finally, they say, hey, we got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Rather designing it for each individual, that should be a bonus. We can do it, but it should cost more money.
It's going to cost you.
Yeah, there you go. We can do that. You got the money, we can do about anything you want. So,
Well, kids, that's the end of our questions here.
okay, so what's our little summary? What's our action plan?
Summary, they should not take the funding. They
No.
need to focus on themselves instead of the competition and get their real-time product out there in order to compete.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, it's tempting to take the money, but I figure if they came to you, they're gonna be there in 2-3 months,
That's true.
4 months.
That's a good point.
Well,
Yeah.
you're also going to have a higher valuation in a few months as well.
And if you can do a higher valuation,
You know,
that would be better for you because you're not going to have to give up as much of the company. Unless they want to offer you more money.
right. Well, and then there's also just the distraction. He mentioned that taking that financing right now, doing that due diligence would be a distraction when they're trying to launch the real time. That could just pull away from what he needs to be doing.
Right.
They didn't own the company very long, did they? Because this is December of 2010. They sold in June of 2012 for $40 million to Zilla.
Nice.
They did what?
They sold the company in 2012 to Zilla for $40 million.
Oh, wow.
And this was in December of 2010.
$1 million a year. Hey, I mean, $10 million a year. Hey.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So I would love to know what choice he made. I really couldn't find it. But I was like, wow, that's good money. So you would want as much valuation as you could have. As much,
Right.
So you can keep as much of the company as you can.
Right.
Rather than,
I mean, yeah, it's one thing if you're hurting for money and you need it to grow, but if you don't need it and you have several months capital laid by, then no.
and they had a plan for it too. And see, they're coming to them with the money and they had, it's like, oh my goodness, what would we do with it? $5 million.
Right.
I mean, you can expand your sales team, but $5 million, how many are you going to expand it by?
Right.
You know?
Right.
which you kind of
Some nice bonuses there.
you figure if you have a sales team and they can do 2 sales a day, that's like $16,000 for those 2 sales. Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you had 4 people and they did 4 sales a day, that's $32,000. You know, it's a numbers game. And if you can improve people that subscribe, you know, then you know where you're getting 4 people subscribing out of every 100 contacts. I mean, you can see where this kind of goes, but it takes a while to get that money back. It's 2.6 years average.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Right.
But I mean, but when you think of it, that sales $8,000 is what your average has been. Worth $8,000 to the company after you take out the acquisition price or cost. But it takes 2.6 to realize that 2.6 years, to realize your full extent there. Anyway.
Anywho. All right, guys, I gotta go to bed. I'm so tired.
Okay.
Same here.
So, all right, happy Thanksgiving.